Okay, welcome to today's team call. I know that it is a busy time of year. We're all probably feeling kind of just the weight of all of the things that need to get done for Christmas and end of the year and school. I mean, I don't know. We always joke that it's such a cluster kind of trying to figure out all the different details for the days and what kids have what and what parties. In fact, today, guess what I did? I sent Case to school in Christmas pajamas, and, and his party is not till Thursday. So, that was pretty much just summed up how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, Jake dropped him off, and he totally thought it was today too. I mean, he had me convinced, which lesson learned. I should have reread the email myself, but yeah, so Jake drops him off and he runs to the playground. He realizes no one else has Christmas pajamas on. So he runs back to the car and he's like, Dad, no, I'm not going in there. So thankfully, Jake brought him home, changed and brought him back. But that's how our day started today. So hope yours was more calm than that. Right. Mom before Christmas. Exactly. Okay. So before we get going today here, let's go ahead and open up in prayer. God, I just thank you so much for this group of ladies and men and just the opportunity to partner together in this space. I just pray for all of us today as we come with a lot on our minds and hearts, and it's just a busy time of year. But I just pray that you would help us to remember the true reason for the season and that we can just slow our hearts and minds down throughout the day, that we can just stay focused on what really matters, as our minds can so easily spiral this time of year. I pray that as we chat together today, that you would give us confidence and wisdom and just energy to continue to work hard here in December. I pray that you would just give us the kind of courage to keep taking action, even when things maybe don't always happen as quickly as we'd like them to. Just help us to remember that consistency is what we can focus on in those times and that is enough. I just pray for every person on this call or listening to the recording that you would meet them where they're at, the things on their hearts specifically too, that you would just fill them with your peace. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in today. And I don't know that this call will go a full hour. I know we're all busy, so hopefully we can just kind of get in, chat about a few things and then get back to life. But yeah, so it's December, middle of December, and there's a lot of exciting things going on. There's a lot to be excited about in the new year. But I also always just want to be really real and, shooting it straight so that you're never feeling like you're alone in this business. Because what I have heard from several people is they're like, whoa, December just feels kind of like it slowed down, right? Like like business in November was so wild and fast because we had the wand sale to kick it off and we had all of the holiday events. And then, December comes and it's kind of like crickets at times. You're sharing, but you're not getting as many people to bite on things. And I just want to reaffirm to you that is totally normal in any really business like this. I mean, if you think of yourself right now and just how busy you are, a lot of people the first few weeks of December, they're just simply focused on trying to get everything in place for their family, for Christmas, all the school stuff that we just talked about. And so I even find myself that I'm just not on my phone as much, throughout the day because I'm like scrambling from thing to thing. And so if you think about the people that are following us, that could perhaps be the same thing for them. Like they just aren't necessarily seeing our stuff as often as normal. And so I just think it's important to keep that in mind that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with this business. It's just simply a month where consistency will absolutely win out. And so, there are months where you can kind of get by and kind of like do things haphazardly in this business and still pull some things off. December is not one of those months. December is a month where you really just have to be consistent daily, and that will pay off in the end. In fact, Jake's working right now on the Road to Director report. And he was looking at it and he goes, we say that December feels slow, but really when he's looking at the report, he goes, the people that are consistently showing up are doing pretty well. And they're actually not going to have a problem hitting director if they just stick with it throughout this month. So I think that's a really important thing to remember too, is that consistency will win out. And yesterday I was talking to Christy Kronzer and she had this like one line that I was like, that's just exactly how it is in December. She's like, really in December, all the work that you do doesn't pay off until the very end, like that last week, especially when it comes to the wellness stuff, because people just are not thinking about. Now, thankfully, we have some beauty stuff to kind of throw in there too that people might buy before that. But when it comes to health and fitness goals in December, it's just not people's top priority really until after Christmas is over and they feel like crap. And then they're kind of like, okay, I need to come up with a plan to kind of get myself going again here for the new year. So I do think that's really, really important. Now, the other thing I want to talk about today too, we're going to talk about the 5-day reset a little bit. And then we're also going to talk about the December or the director's retreat for next year. But um, yes, Cassie, that's so true. Cassie said she's inviting now for the 5-day reset and the new year. All that work will pay off for sure. And that's exactly where I was going to go next is we have this 5-day reset, which is really, really cool. And if you have not started to promote that yet, you're not too late. Just start today and start talking about it. I mean, it just launched yesterday. In case you're out of the loop with that, it just launched yesterday. And so, in a nutshell, for those of you who haven't had a chance to catch the details, because I get it, you guys, like life is so busy. And so, if you're working this business part-time and you're like trying to keep up with the chats and trying to figure all this out. It's a lot. So I'm going to kind of cover the 5-day reset briefly here again today, just so you feel like you are in the loop with everything. Because I don't want you to miss out on this launch. I truly believe those who take action will have a lot of success with it. But the 5-day reset, in case you missed it, is all about just making a clean break for the new year. This is something that is probably going to be a seasonal thing. So it's not like this is going to be every month, at least that's not what they're saying right now. But it's really a special tool that we have to help people kick things off in the new year. And so what's different from other cleanses that you might have heard about or seen in the past or done before is that everything you need is going to come to your door. And actually, I have the box right here. So in this box. And so, in the past with cleanses, even our 7-day cleanse, it's awesome, but it does take a little more prep because you have to get all the fruits and vegetables. Whereas this, what's cool, especially for people that are super busy and just want convenience and they are willing to pay for convenience if it comes to the door, that's what this one is really all about because it has 5 days worth of these packets. And in every single box, it's full of 11 things that they're going to try from Shaklee throughout the day, which is also brilliant if you think about it, because they're going to be trying so many things and they're going to find probably at least a few of them that they want to stick with or they want to reorder. So I love that. But yeah, so you can kind of see in here, I'll quickly go through these things. So Up and Glowing, and I'm not going to promise you I'm going to get them in order. I'll try, but just it'll give you an idea anyway. So to start the day, we have Up and Glowing. This is the collagen that you can mix as a latte. And then we have our protein oats. This is a brand new product for this cleanse, which I kind of hope that they sell this separately after the cleanse. I think that would be really cool. And then we have the Gut and Go. So the idea is that you start in the morning and every hour or two, you're going to be having one of these items. And you do have the option to add in little things here and there to make the meal a little bit more complete. It's optional, but everything I've seen is very simple. So even if you decide to add a few things in, you're not going to be having a huge grocery cart of things to add. So we have the Gut and Go, which is our pre and probiotic. I think all of us who have tried this are obsessed with this, and this is like a daily staple. We have this electrolyte mix, which is another new product. It's hydration and focus. So you're going to have this twice throughout the day. There's 2 different flavors. One is the blood orange and one is raspberry melon. And then we also have a protein veggie broth. So you keep seeing the word protein, and that is a huge focus of this reset is making sure that you are feeling satisfied throughout the reset so that you're not super, super hungry the whole time. I mean, coming off Christmas, we probably will still feel like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of hungry, but the protein is going to help you to feel satisfied for longer. So we have the protein broth. And then we also have the multivitamin gummies. So that's kind of cool to get to sample. And this is another product that I think when people try it, they will for sure buy another bottle of it because I know for us, like our kids love these, we love them. So that's a great option. And then in the afternoon, you have a Life Shake, which we've never had packets of Life Shake before. So that's kind of cool that they get to even try that in a packet. And then another thing of protein veggie broth.
Mm. Can't get me enough of that protein veggie broth, you know?
I think we're gonna do it together. We'll see how it goes. Are any of you guys gonna do it with your husbands? Curious. You are? Okay. We'll all have to like figure this out together.
Mm-mm.
And then in the afternoon, a snack bar, which these toffee ones, if you haven't had them, they're really good. And then at night, again, rest and rewind, the sleep time tea, which is great. So really cool to get to try all of those products. And then that goes on for 5 days. And so the key with that, with trying this for 5 days is not that it's a quick fix or that's all you have to do and then you're going to be set for life. It's really designed to be a springboard for you to then feel like, okay, I kind of have momentum at my back. I don't have the junk food cravings like I did a few days ago. I feel like I can keep going. Um, I said this on my stories yesterday and it seemed to resonate with people. And I just said, those seasons where like you're eating pretty healthy, but you just feel kind of frustrated because things keep sneaking in and you can do better, but it's just kind of like you're in a little bit of survival mode, doing the best you can. And so I think that's why this reset can be really powerful, even for people that are already in a pretty good groove, just to like dial it up a notch and feel like, okay, we're gonna start fresh for 2025. So that's a talking point is, just leveling up our nutrition, cutting out the junk after the holidays, and then also getting rid of bloat. I know so many people can, relate to that. Even if it's not the holidays, every once in a while, it's just good to get rid of that bloat and puffiness. And then the convenience too is really key. Have you guys, as you've been chatting about this, would you mind sharing anything that you find to be like a really good talking point, or that people that has seemed to kind of pique people's interest? Because I think, the more that we can talk to those emotions, that's really what's going to give people the confidence to join us. So feel free to pop anything in the chat that you have found to be helpful in talking about it. But okay, so that at a glance is the 5 day reset. So after the 5 days, then everyone's feeling great. Ideally, what we want to do then is help them to create routines within the products that we have to offer, specifically the vitamins, I think for all of us. And I think this would be really fun. I know I've heard from so many of you that you just love how you feel on the vitamins, but if you guys wouldn't mind popping into the chat, those of you who take Meology or the Vitalizer, would you just share in the chat, like, why do you like them? I think that would just give us all probably confidence, and maybe even, take a screenshot if you want to of as people share here, just why they love the vitamins. But the vitamins, when people start taking them, I really think that they make the biggest difference because of how they just fill in those nutrient gaps that you don't even realize you might have to give you energy. I know Susan, I see you on the call. She did a great job. You guys have to go watch her stories. Hopefully they're still there. I forget exactly when you posted them, but she did the best stories yesterday, and she was just wrapping presents by her tree. And just like to watch Susan in her stories, I told her, it's like, she's one of my favorite people to watch because she's just so calm and she has this wisdom. Like, as I'm feeling like a frazzled mom, there Susan is being like, it's going to be okay, take a beat. Like, it's just so great. And then she talked about that, like what helps her to get into a good routine. And she talked about the vitamins and how it's helping her. And so I think that is what we ultimately want to get to as we talk about this is, yes, we all need Susan vibes in our lives. Seriously, you guys. Please go follow her. She will make you feel like everything is going to be okay. Um, but yeah, so we don't just want to, promote the 5-day reset, but we really want to promote a long-term healthy lifestyle, that this is a springboard, but it's not like a quick fix or anything like that. So that's the goal. So with the package options, what I love is that there's two options. So the first option, which is ideal, is you get the 5-day reset and you get 2 bags of the Life Shake and the Vitalizer vitamin packs for $350. And so what I like about that is it is for the full month, because then they're getting things that they can use for the full month. Now, if someone's not ready for that, that's okay too. They can just start with a 5-day reset. And I have a feeling once they go through it, then they're going to want to order more anyway. So really either way that they purchase is like a win-win. But those are the two options. Just the 5-day reset is $199, or you can upgrade. Now, I did have someone ask me yesterday, what if I want to do Meology with it? And I said, yep, that's totally cool too. We don't have a specific packet for just the like the 5-day reset with the Meology, but you could totally help them put together, a cart where you could add the 5-day reset and then send them the link to Meology, and then they can kind of add it together. The one thing with Meology, just in case you haven't come across this yet, is you cannot add, like, how we can send carts to things lumped together. You cannot add Meology to a cart with anything else because it's personalized. So that's just something to keep in mind if someone wants to do the Meology with it. Okay, but really in terms of promoting it, promoting the 5-day reset, it's going to be just about consistency, you guys, right? Because like these first few days, we're going to start talking about it, and just remember, like, put yourself, I always like to put myself on the other side of the camera. Like, if I didn't know anyone else at Shackley and they were just like, and I was just following one person that was sharing about the 5-day reset, would I have enough information to feel educated to want to purchase it? And so I think that's like, as you're thinking through, you're like what you're sharing, that's why consistency is going to be so huge. So sharing with people what this is all about, over and over again, it's going to maybe feel, a little bit repetitive, but it won't feel like that to them. Like they won't feel like you're talking about it too much because they're not going to see your stories every day. So consistency there, a post, but really I posted in the team page yesterday, just like if you're feeling overwhelmed or like, you want to work your business this time of year, but it's too much, go look at that post, because essentially just keep it so simple. Like share why you're excited about this over and over again, all of that kind of stuff. And the consistency will pay off. Even if this week, and what I'm going to encourage you is even if you share every single day this week and you have no sales, like trust the process and keep sharing, because by the end of the month, I guarantee you will sell some of these resets if you keep going. Um, Anything else about the reset that you wanted to share? No?
No,
From a men's perspective, how do you, any tips?
tough sell, tough sell. I would just lean into this sweet, sweet veggie broth, and that should bring all the men right on in.
Oh my
I
God.
will say though, like some of this stuff, this raspberry melon electrolyte, I was eyeing that up before. This toffee and chocolate crunch. Yeah, there's some protein oats I think are solid. That's something I would eat. So I think there's enough in there to get people wanting to
Mhm.
try it.
Okay, any questions about the 5-day reset before I move on to the New Year group?
Is there anything with people who are either are pregnant or trying to get pregnant? Do they say anything about whether it's okay for them? I haven't seen, so I'm just curious
That's
if
a
others
great
have.
question. Let me see if I can find that out. I haven't seen that question yet. So Cassie said they said on the call to not do it if you're pregnant, but you're talking someone that's trying to get pregnant, right?
Well, I have one of each actually,
Oh,
but so the one who's pregnant shouldn't. So, okay.
okay. Um, and I love these tips. I'm just going to share a few of them because the recording you won't be able to see the chat. But just people talking about the benefits of the vitamins is really, really cool. I always think, when you're lacking energy or momentum, like educating yourself or seeing the benefits of all these products, it just gives you that excitement to keep sharing. Cassie said she has this weird energy. Like she should get more sleep, but she doesn't need it. She doesn't have knee pain or issues after HIIT workouts. She even ran over Thanksgiving and she hasn't run since her mid-20s due to knee issues. Wow, that's so cool. Very, very cool. Susan said, yes, I could tell the very first week that she had more energy and her bloating went away. The only thing she changed was adding Meology. I love that. My mood has been better overall. I totally notice if I miss a day or two of my vitamins that my anxiety starts to spike again. So for me, I think I totally relate to the mood thing. Um, since starting the Meology, Mandy said that she has no cramping during that time of the month. She has better mood, more energy, and she's felt like the vitamins have kept her healthy. That's awesome. Christy said that the vitamins have helped to balance her hormones. No more cramps, no more bloating, no more joint stiffness when I wake up, no more hormonal sleep issues. Oh, that's so cool. Um, and sleeping all night every night, and her Raynaud's is gone. So all these symptoms came on slowly over time and they almost seem normal. That is a really good point, right? Because sometimes we just live with like this puffiness or we live with these like symptoms. And we don't even realize how good we can feel. So that's so, so cool. And Colleen, your tip to share it nonstop. Yes, you are so consistent. And I'm telling you, people who are consistent here, they win. And it is so cool to see. And so I love that tip to keep sharing authentically. I love that so much. You're so funny, Trash Panda. Oh, you're so funny. Sometimes we'll be on a call and I'll see you type something and I like have to mute myself because I'm laughing so much. You're so funny. Okay, Liz, okay, that was your question. And then Christine said that she's offering the 5-day reset, but also going to offer the Ready Set Wellness bundle with the 7-day cleanse because she has a few that are picky, like eaters like her. Okay, that's a really great point. I'm really glad you mentioned that, Christine. So can you talk us through a little bit like what you're doing or how you're positioning that?
So I actually have already had, so I'm very picky. I personally, and I'm for sure yet if I'm ordering or not. So I haven't actually been like, do it with me. I'm like, do it with us because I'll like let them all participate with our group. Because I can do most of it, but I don't do soups. And so anyways, point being is I don't do oats. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm like, this is gonna be tricky. And so I actually have a girl that's friends with me that was like, okay, I know you're picky. Are you going to do this? And I was like, I've thought about at least trying it, but I am still unsure. And I was honest with her. I was like, if you feel like that this is just too far out of your norm, then you could just do the 7-day cleanse. You're going to get results still. I know it's not as like, we're not going to, if you just go sell the 7-day cleanse, you're only selling $40 compared to 200, right? Which is, you have to think about that, right? But like this girl's a customer of mine. She's already purchasing the vitamins. And so if I can get some of my customers that may not want to do the $199 because they are already purchasing so much a month to just throw that on, I'm like, hey, that's still extra volume, extra money made, right? But what I'm also going to do is the girls that are reaching out to me I actually have like a handful, right, that have never been a customer before. And I had one of them say, I don't know that I can stomach some of this stuff. And I said, I've got another bundle for you that I think is perfect. And so I actually voiced her and was like, hey, what I would recommend is we can get you started with the Ready Set Wellness bundle. And that way you can still do the shakes with us. You'll have your personalized vitamins. And then you can do the 7-day cleanse with us. You will have to meal prep, but that way you can do the food that you can eat that are fruits and veggies. So I'm pushing the 5-day reset, but I also don't want people to forget that if you have people that don't want to purchase the 5-day reset, offer them the Ready Set Wellness bundle because the Ready Set Wellness bundle is $179. So you're still, as long as they're new customers, you're still almost touching that $199, right? So anyways, I think it's something to like not to keep in the back of our heads and not think, oh, just because they're not doing this, like what if you could spin it and offer the Ready Set Wellness bundle to these people and still get a hold of them and still get them with the 7-day cleanse?
That's so smart. And I love how you shared that. Just really great thinking because there are going to be people that are like, nope, reset's not for me. But the Ready Set Wellness Bundle, as we know, is like such a great way for them to get results too. And actually, I think that was launched it was a New Year's launch at some point anyway. So I think that's so smart. I love
Just keep
that.
it in our back of our pocket, right? For the people that are,
Yes.
oh, I don't want that, but let's get them another way, right? So
Yes, exactly. Plus, then they can have the meology too if that's something that they want,
yes.
you know.
And sort of stick with, like so far most of them are staying on that. So then they've already got that included in their pack and then hopefully they stay on it. So
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I love that. Any other questions or things that are on your mind about the 5-day reset? I know so many of you are approaching it in such neat ways that if you have anything you want to share, I'd love to hear it. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Yeah, Colleen, that's a good point. I think once people can get on Meology and they feel the benefits, they realize it's worth the investment. The trickiest part that I have found is just getting them to purchase that first time, right? Is like, because we have so many people that fill out the assessment. And so the more I think it's just talking about it, then they realize, like, okay, well, I do need that in my life. But once they feel so good, they want to keep that as an investment every month. Okay, we're gonna move on and talk about the New Year group. And Tracy, I don't know if she's still on. She was at work, I saw. Oh, are you
Hey,
on?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm multitasking.
Okay. So Tracy has offered, so I was talking to Christy on this retreat and I just said, what I'm finding as a leader as our team grows is that I just really need to learn to delegate things and find the different, strengths of people on the team and how they can contribute because I know that people want to contribute more. And I was talking specifically about Longevity Club because I feel like the last couple months, I just haven't had the bandwidth to make it what I really want to make it. And I know that it has potential to be so much better, especially as we go into the new year, to really make that like a focal point for our customers, like a value add where they can feel like so supported and where we can have this ongoing community of teaching them more about the products that we have and why they're important. And so what we're kind of thinking to do for the new year, so as I was talking to Christy, she was like, you know what, Tracy would be so good at this. She loves organizing all the groups. She has these amazing groups going. And so she has graciously offered to head up this for us. And then I had polled everybody in the team page a couple weeks ago who wanted to help. And so I gave her that list of everyone that volunteered. So thank you so much if you responded to that poll in the chat. Tracy will most likely be reaching out to you for some help here before as we plan out the group for the new year. So anyway, what we're thinking is to really have Longevity Club as a place that is a resource. So you know how we are always getting these questions of like, hey, what could I take for this or what could I take for that? So far, I've been kind of wiping the group clean every month and we have a fresh start. But I think what we're going to do moving forward is have this be a place where we can just keep adding really great value to the group so that the search bar in that group becomes really powerful so that when you plug someone in, that's a customer of yours, they can go in there and they can ask questions and they're going to have different things pop up that's going to help them in their journey. And then also leveling up the accountability piece, because I think those of us who came from body, we realize just how powerful that can be. So anyway, Tracy has been running these amazing groups and she's going to head up for January this like challenge where we're going to get into teams of 5 and hold each other accountable, and then you can earn points with your team of 5 to earn prizes throughout the month. So anyway, Tracy said check your message requests if you're not friends. She messaged everyone to volunteer. Okay, awesome. So yeah, Tracy, I know you're like multitasking, but do you want to just quickly kind of share your heart and what you're excited about and kind of plans for January?
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Sorry if my pager goes off while I'm chatting. So yeah, absolutely. So we would run these groups with Body for the last couple years. where, like Amber said, we broke into small teams, like anywhere from 4 to 6 people. It's totally optional for anyone that wants to be added. And then it's a point system. So for each day, they get a point for checking in on 5 different things. So what we kind of had decided on when we were chatting in Austin, and then when I talked to Amber and Christy yesterday, a point for any kind of movement. So walking or a workout of any kind, a point for checking on something to do with nutrition. So they can share a recipe, a meal plan, their nutrition tracker, a picture of a healthy meal they ate that day, a point for sharing a motivational quote or a takeaway from their personal development, a point for engaging or commenting on someone else's post in the group so we can kind of build that like connection and cheering each other on. And then a point for sharing either their Meology Life Shake, or we said it could be another Shaklee product. So they would have to check in with each of those. And then in their smaller groups, they have a Facebook message chat pod where they say, all right, I got 3 points today, 4 points today, 5 points today, Monday through Friday only. And then every weekend they choose a team captain who reports to me. And then I put a leaderboard together every Sunday and post it in the group. So it's great for accountability. It's great for building relationships and connection within the groups. So that's what I kind of said to Amber, and she was like, I like this. Let's do this. So we're going to try it out in the Longevity Club for January. We'll run it for we did 3 weeks at a time to kind of give people accountability for a few weeks and then a little bit of a break before we kicked off the next group.
Yeah, awesome. So excited about this. And I think, one of the things we were talking about is just how important it's going to be for us to be talking about this as we're promoting products, just like we used to with Body, because we still have the groups. The only difference, and I know it takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around it when you're moving from Body to this, but the only difference here is that people can choose whatever workouts they want. So they don't necessarily have to do a specific workout. They can do whatever ones resonate most with them. And so that's going to be really awesome. And so, oh, Carrie, that's so cool. She is just hyping you up how good your groups are. That's so exciting. I love that.
I forgot to mention too, we're gonna do 5 bonus points for if they complete either the 5-day reset or the 7-day cleanse during the 21 days, their team will get 5 bonus points per person on the team that does that.
Yes, and they can choose whenever they want to do. Like, I think we're going to try to do a big push for January 6th, just because naturally a lot of us will probably be doing the reset on January 6th, but they can do it whenever they want to throughout the month. So I think that'll be really, really great, and also a great way for you to promote the reset, to promote the New Year's, because we want people to understand that they can still come to you for the new year, and I know some of you guys are Body affiliates, some of you are partner with other fitness companies, and so this will be a great way for you to kind of bring it all together for the new year. Okay, so that's the New Year group. Any questions about that? So it'll be like once a month we'll still start. We're still going to educate kind of like we have before, but just a little bit more. And so Tracy's going to organize and help us get all those posts scheduled and delegated out. So thank you so much, Tracy, for doing all of that. Okay, so the last thing that we wanted to chat about today is our director's retreat. So we've kind of teased about this a little bit, but one of the things that we found to be really meaningful when we built our business over at Body was to have retreats where we would gather with people who were consistently working the business. And so what we have seen at Shaklee is those who are truly consistent at working, they do hit director. So this isn't a retreat for people that are like high level, like only certain people can qualify. Like this is something where like if you are working consistently, you will hit director. It might not happen your first month or second month, but you will get there. And actually, Mandy, you're on the call today. Would you be willing to share a little bit about your story? Because I think Mandy's story is really powerful because she was not one of the girls that hit director her very first month. It took her a little bit of time to hit it, but what she did do was she was just extremely consistent and she kept showing up and she didn't get discouraged when other people would hit director before her. Like she just kept going. And now here she is a director for the last several months. So, can you just share, I don't know, anything that you think might be helpful to someone that maybe thinks, gosh, is director something that I could even do, you know?
Yeah. Hi. I'm homesick today with Nora. So here's
Sorry.
Nora. That's okay. Yeah, I feel like when I started, I came from body and was not successful at body whatsoever. So when I came to Shackley, I wanted like a fresh start and I loved all of, the products and a fresh mindset about going about it. And my mindset is that any sale that helps anyone in any capacity is helpful. And I just, like Christine was saying, like this 5-day reset might not be best for someone, but you might be able to help them in another way. And so when I'm talking to people and having those conversations, I kind of just ask a lot of questions. And I really do just try to show up consistently and just keep trucking along. I mean, I am by no means like someone who gets there quickly, but all throughout the month, I do keep conversations going. And I also have the mindset that we're really truly here to watch each other win. And when I see someone else, like succeeding and doing awesome things, and like, that's really awesome. Like, if they can do it, I truly think like if they can do it, I can do it too. And there's no reason, like we all start at zero every single month. And I just feel like if you really truly have to kind of believe in yourself and know that every single conversation that you have here really does matter, which is so different from how it was at Body. And every single sale here counts towards volume too. So that's kind of my mindset.
Yeah, I love that. And can you share a little bit too about your social media strategy? Because how do you remain so consistent? Because you work full time as a teacher, and yet here you are
Yes.
showing up, every single day. So, any tips that you would share in regards to that?
I really love this. I think it's a creative outlet and my mindset, I guess, is that I just feel first of all, I feel so fortunate to be on this team. And I think that this team is really amazing. We have amazing leaders. And so I try, honestly, before I allow myself to scroll, well, I do look at Amber's stories every day just to see what you're talking about. And I think that's kind of a strategy too, because it kind of helps me like guide. Oh, I'm covering her mouth like we're in public. Guide what I think that I should be talking about, but then I also know what products I love sharing about. And so sometimes I'll try to just record myself in a video in the morning and I might not be able to post it right then, but I know it's on my phone for later for at the end of the day. And I just have a routine with it, like record something in the morning and post it at the end of the day. So it honestly doesn't take too long. You just kind of have to find what works for you and what fits into your day. I try like during the day to be present with, my class and my kids and everything, but I do have specific times that I set aside for each day to get everything done.
That is,
Does that help? I don't know. Is that what you wanted?
yeah, that's perfect. That's
Okay.
so good. And you just have a routine and I mean, yeah, you fit it all in. And, you teachers are so good at that. Like you just figure out how to get it done, which is very, very inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing. Colleen, can I pick on you too to share your story? Because you're another one that you're just so consistent and you're winning more here than you did before, right?
Yes, that's true. Sorry, I laugh because you keep saying that I'm consistent. And I feel like that was not the case before at the other place. Yeah, so I guess quick version, because those of you that know me know I'm a talker. I guess I'm still technically, I don't know if I'm doing the affiliate thing, but with Body for 4 years. When I decided there that I was ready to like dive into the business, wanted to rank advance, wanted to earn the income for my family, it was painful. The process that I went through trying to hit diamond, it took me over 18 months. And then as soon as I hit it, I held it for a couple of months. And then after the first time that I dropped out of it, I started going through kind of like I would with my guts. It was a constant, like a couple of steps forward, like 10 freaking steps backward. And I was spending so much time and money holding controlled accounts and doing all the things. And I don't struggle with some of the things other people do. And so I couldn't really find a reason why I wasn't successful there. But I wasn't earning an income, and it was starting to become really, really difficult to keep my mindset, my energy up. And it was really, yeah, a stressor for my family. Long story short, all of the stuff goes down that went down at the end of September. And I was sitting at my mom's infusion appointment when I like pressed the link. I was texting Christy the whole time, like, I'm signing up today. I have to be the first one. I was that ready. It could have been a blind leap and I would have done it. And from the moment this team, the way that you and Jake shared data, I never knew that I was like into video games, but the gamification of like the back office, it works for me. I look at the little circles and I'm like, oh, cool beans. I'm only this far away from my next Star Club bonus. Or, ooh, I only need this much more PTV. And then like it's a green circle and not half empty. Little things. I think having those smaller benchmarks, if you will, really, really helps me like stay focused on the thing. And then, yeah, I like fell in love with the products within the first 3 days of using Meology. I just generally felt good and I couldn't pinpoint it. It just felt good. And within 2 weeks, I could tell, even though I hadn't stopped the other supplements, laxatives and things that I was using, I knew my body was changing. And then I privately told Christy, I was like, on this day, I'm going to stop taking my other stimulants because I know that Meology is like doing it. And I did, and I'm still not using those. And I'm still waiting for my good gut and go. So it's been like life-changing. I hit director, and in comparison to rank advancing at the other place, that was like it was like, oh my God, I recorded myself the morning I opened that email. Over here, and I don't mean this to come off the wrong way, but like it happened and it was kind of like, oh, because I was watching it the whole time. I knew it was going to happen. The belief is there. The belief that I have in what we're doing in this team and what I can do, it's night and day from my experience before. Yeah, and the confidence that I have in my messages with other people, inviting them to the business. I shared some of them with Christy, and she was like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "I know, sorry, excuse my language. I cussed." And I told her, I was like, "Yeah, it's different. This is different. I'm different." Yeah, and like Christy's saying in the chat, when you're consistent here, you see the results, and so it's easier to keep doing it. I'm going through the hardest season I've probably ever been in, but I'm gonna get emotional.
Hmm.
I have more joy right now than I probably ever had. And to be able to do this for my family is like the biggest gift. So I'm so grateful. And now I'm going to stop talking.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That was so encouraging. And I love seeing you win. And I'll say one thing about you too is that you just hype everybody up. And, Mandy touched on this too. And I do think that that is like a secret sauce to success is hyping other people up and not getting, I don't know, like, and not feeling inferior when other people are winning either. You know what I mean? Like, and you said that, Mandy, that, and I think that is something that I know I had to teach myself when I was building my business at Body. And, sometimes we still have to remind ourselves of like when other people win, what's our default set to? Like when you see someone winning, what do you think about? Like what goes through your head? Is it to cheer them on, or is it to be like, oh, of course you know what I mean? Like how it's easy to kind of compare yourself and get a little bit like in your head when you see other people win. But I hope that you'll do what these two do. And I think it's like it's a choice that when you see someone else winning here, you can go, well, if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's what I see with all of you. And honestly, with those of you who are winning here, I just see that abundance mindset of you cheering each other on, you loving stuff in the chat, you showing up for each other. And I mean, it means everything, to see that happening. It's just so beautiful. So, okay, all that to say, so we shared about how they got to director. We truly believe anyone that works hard can get to director. And so what we want to do is create a space for us to get together in person. So we're going to do a director's retreat, and I'm going to let Jake share a little bit more of the details. We don't have the exact qualifications. Well, we kind of They're like almost done, but we're gonna give you guys like a sneak peek into it, and then we'll share like all the details in the group. Um, but yeah, we have an exciting retreat that we are planning, so I'll let him kind of
Are we
share.
rolling out dates too right now?
Yeah, I mean, we decided on those, so here we go.
Grip it and rip it. So, one thing that I just want to say, like, Amber, very much last minute in general. I don't want to get in too much trouble. Me, very type A, big time planner, likes to have like dates and everything coordinated so that I can make sure that everything ends up being very like stress free and that you guys can get so much value out of this. So, one of my favorite things at the height of our body business was coordinating all this stuff. And I love piecing it together and working with different venues and guest speakers and all kinds of fun stuff. So, we're trying to get out in front of this as much as we possibly can because I would love to have this just be something that this first time like just ends up blessing and bringing so much value to your business. But then like B, I want it to be something that like legit, if you didn't make it, you're so like pissed and like you as leaders can go back to people and be like, you have to be here next time, you know, and like the same way that you're going out there right now and pitching this business, believing in this business, I want you to believe in the types of retreats and learning opportunities that we're trying to put together. So the first thing that we kind of started thinking through is like, where can we actually get like people together that's going to be fairly convenient for other people. So we're looking at like, you know, major metro airports, you know, flying in to different places. Then I start getting a little selfish going, like it would be awesome to get some skiing in if I had to go somewhere. So that kind of narrows it down to a couple of destinations. And then I started thinking like, where could we also get corporate to be able to be a part of this and come in for some like really good training and like hands-on work. I really want all of y'all to really understand the comp plan. So I really want to do a deep dive on that, but I've also really loved goal setting and like reverse engineering goals. So like you know, if I want to get here, what do I need to do over these next, you know, so we are gonna host our first ever retreat in Salt Lake City. So pretty excited about that. The thing I love about Salt Lake, again, big major metro airport to get into for everybody. It's going to allow us to kind of like merge Central, Eastern, Western time a little bit. So, you know, everybody will have a little bit of a give that they have. But you know, our corporate office, or the majority, I should say, the majority of people that are working remote are in that general area. So it's going to make it a lot easier, I think, for us to get people in. There is some really nice big houses, especially as you're looking like, you know, mountain towns are like generally pretty good for hosting large groups. So we're working on all that, but guaranteed Salt Lake City. The other thing that is really fun for y'all who are director and like you have a downline building, one of my favorite things that we do is we have like a really big, like kind of fun, like director plus, like senior director plus VIP night, which will be on Thursday. So on Thursday, we'll have kind of like a big fun welcome reception. That's going to be when anybody who is senior director plus can get into town. We've done like, you know, private chef in the past, which has been really fun. And then we've had like high exec in from corporate in there to like work with us and do like really cool like team building fun night, and then like wake up in the morning and like do some like high level business talk just with people who are pushing or building like teams. So we're gonna have that likely Thursday night. I'm trying to pull up the exact dates here so I don't mess this up too much. Am I doing okay? I feel like I'm doing okay. Kind of drag people along enough. All right, so the dates, okay? And we're gonna put everything into like a thread here as far as like how you do it, what's gonna be required. So like this will be pretty like spelled out. Now we just need to work, sell, grow, right? So it's going to be Thursday, March 20th, through Sunday, March 23rd. And like I said, we're gonna put together like all kinds of like I don't know, like just really fun stuff for people to do. Like I said, I really do want to find a day that we can get out to a ski hill, and maybe those who don't ski, we do like, spa day, or we do tubing or something fun. But I like that we'll be able to be like, somewhere that we can be outside. We've already started to look at different venues for stuff. So as all of those details start being like finalized, we'll make sure that we're passing them on. And I said this earlier today as we were talking, like, I think there's this interesting phenomenon that it kind of happens where, like, if you built in the past, you just like kind of expect it to, organically, naturally build now. I just truly believe that this industry has changed so much that you are not above being in the trenches with those that are working. So as you are aspiring to senior director, as you are aspiring to director, everybody within your downline organization can make this so much easier for you. Plus, it's just like, in my opinion, I just think it's fun to build with people. So like, I would say if you're thinking in the back of your mind right now, you're like, okay, I really want to make sure that her, him, whatever. Let's be honest, there's not that many hymns, but her, I want them at this retreat. Like, I would just encourage you to like personalize why and message them like, hey, let's do this together. And then like, again, don't feel like you're above being in the trenches with people. Like, you're gonna have to get we just, I just feel like confidence right now is so fragile coming from body. So like, we're like kind of like treading carefully. I don't want to push people too hard, but like, truly, if they're telling you that they want to build this business, then I just encourage you to get in the trenches with people, hold people accountable to their goals. Mandy's thing about like, well, I just go and like see what Amber is doing is like, it's funny, but like, it's like probably like a good thing too. Like, if that is a way for you or anyone to like see that this is what I need to do in order to get to this point, I would just encourage you, go hand in hand with people to help get them to their goals and get them across the finish line. We found one house already that's just like a mansion, not the cool, like not the coolest house I've ever stayed at,
Like
but like
not the newest.
not the newest,
But
okay?
it's cool.
But it is cool. It's huge. It's got like an indoor pool and spa, and it's cool in that sense, just dated. But it was like it can host like 46 people. And I was like, man, that would be so cool if we could get 30, 40 people like into this house, all committed to growing. And if you've been to any of these leadership retreats, if you've been to Summit or any of those types of events in the past, the people who go to those things, like, they leave so fired up about this business. So like, in all reality, it's like so worth you pushing like heck right now to get there and bring people with you, because it's only going to ignite your business to keep growing and building. So
one thing with that I wanted to mention with that too is, in the past, we have done retreats like with spouses sometimes, and that's been really cool. So we are kind of thinking about like, we don't know what the interest would be in this group, if that would be something that you would be excited to do or not. But that we would maybe have an option that if you wanted to, we'll roll out the pricing and how you earn and everything, but that you would, just pay for your spouse to come if you would want to. So that might be an option too, just as we figure out space and stuff. We found that when you can have both there, it's really cool because the spouse kind of latches on to the vision more, and they can talk to Jake or others about it. And so that can be really cool. So I just wanted to plant that seed. I know it's also very difficult to get both people out of the house when you have kids and things, but just something that we're kind of considering as well as we plan this
yeah, and
out.
I'll say on the male side, the last couple of times that we did that, like, I can't say I'm like the biggest beer consumer, but I do like, a cold brew. So like, what we noticed is a bunch of the people that were a part of like our old body team, like, some of them were like brew masters or, whatever, that crap. So like, when we would start going to all these like summit events, they would feel so awkward going because they don't necessarily want to go to all the trainings and all that kind of stuff. But it became like super, super fun for us to make like I'm gonna like you guys are gonna get to know me quickly, but like we sort of ish bar hopped. But we got these scooters in Indianapolis and we went to all these different breweries, and I thought it was like the coolest thing because all of these spouses now are going to these events to support their spouse while they're learning and building their business. They're also having a good time and feel like, validated and, a part of a community as well. So if we can pull that together, I think it would be fun. It's just going to be a matter of like housing. And then if we have to get more housing, then it's going to be figuring out like how can you have like people close.
Yeah, we'll probably
by,
just
so.
kind of need to get a ballpark of what we're like, how many people, and we can see if we can figure it out. Okay. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. So we will get the details up, but essentially you're going to want to get director in December. There's going to be major perks getting director in December for this retreat. And then January and February will also be part of it to hit director. We'll have that rolled out here soon, but I hope the point of like this whole call that you're maybe something you're taking away is just how much consistency can really pay off here. And that it's not impossible to build this business if you keep developing that discipline of consistency. And I know it's not easy when you have kids and you're trying to figure out, how do you fit this new business into your life in a way that feels manageable and all of that. But when you can figure it out, I mean, it does feel like a sacrifice in the beginning to kind of figure out the routine. But once you get into a good groove and you treat this truly like a business, it will pay you like a business. You'll rank advance, like you have a business. And it really is something that the reason that I stopped Body is because I wanted to go to a place where I truly felt anyone could win again if they worked hard. And that is what we have going on here. So I want all of you there. And don't discount yourself. Like if there's even a little piece in your mind that's like, I just don't know if I could do it. Like tell your upline that you have that doubt because they'll help you realize that it's not actually true. Like you can totally do this 100%. Okay. Any other thoughts or questions? I guess we did almost take up this full hour. Just so many exciting things to talk about. Okay, well, thanks, guys. This was awesome. Thanks for your input. Thank you, Tracy and Mandy and Colleen for sharing, and all of you in the chat for sharing. This was awesome. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.